So, it's election day. You've registered to vote, and you've covered a significant number of courses on the Future Elect Civic Education Learning app. Now it's time to make your voice heard. Here's how you do it. For starters, go to the voting station where you are registered to vote. If you're unsure where that is, you can check your voter registration status online at any time. On arrival at the voting station, simply present your green barcoded South African ID book, your smart ID card, or your temporary identification certificate to the voting officer. The officer will check that your name appears on the voter's roll. If for some reason you've registered and you have proof of your registration in the form of a registration sticker, but your name doesn't appear on the voter's roll, the presiding officer must validate your proof of registration. If they are satisfied with the proof, you must complete a VEC4 form for the national elections, and you will then be allowed to continue as an ordinary voter. Following this verification, your name is marked off the voter's roll, your ID is stamped, your thumbnail is inked to prevent electoral fraud such as double voting, and you receive your ballot papers. From there, you'll take your ballot papers to an empty voting booth, which is private, so that your vote remains your secret. You will mark your ballot papers with an X next to the candidate or party of your choice, fold the ballot papers, and place them in their respective ballot boxes. If you make a mistake on your ballot, don't worry. As long as you haven't placed your ballot paper in the box yet, you can always ask the presiding officer for a new one. If you have a physical disability or are visually impaired, there are measures in place to help you. The Electoral Commission, together with the South African National Council for the Blind, has developed a voting aid, the Universal Ballot Template, or UBT, to assist people with disabilities and special needs to have an independent and secret vote during the elections. So what is the UBT? It is a voting aid made of hard black plastic into which a ballot paper is inserted. The right front of the template has a flap which has cut-out windows numbered in braille and enlarged raised white print. When the ballot paper is inserted into the template, each window aligns with a particular candidate or party, and the voter can cast their vote accurately and privately. Who can use it? It can be used by blind and partially sighted people, people with low vision, people who are dyslexic, the elderly, people with low literacy, and people with motor and nervous conditions that do not allow a steady hand. When can it be used? It can be used in the national and provincial elections, as well as in the local government elections and in by-elections. How do you use it? A voting official will explain to you which ballot is being used in the template. They will also ask you if you want to know the order in which the names of the parties or candidates appear on the ballot. If so, they will read out loudly and accurately the parties or candidates on the ballot. They will also ensure that you clearly understand the numbering sequence in which the parties or candidates appear on the ballot. They will then allow you an opportunity to make your mark in private. Once done, leave the UBT in the booth to be collected by the voting official. You will then be directed to the ballot boxes where you will deposit your folded ballot. If you're voting abroad, after marking your ballot secretly, you will place and seal the ballot in a plain envelope. To keep your vote secret, the envelope with your marked ballot goes into another envelope which will have your details on it and those of the mission where you have voted. Election officials will take that envelope, place it in a secure ballot for special votes, and mark your name off the voter's roll to show that you have cast a special vote.